today. My name is Natasha Doherty, and I am the admissions counselor in charge of transfer recruitment at Hampshire College. I am also an alumna of Hampshire College, and I also transferred to Hampshire College, and I studied a lot of creating things at Hampshire College. So I am going to be a point of contact for anyone who is looking to transfer to Hampshire. Also, at the end, there's going to be time for some questions if there's anything else you'd like to know. So before I dive into creating at Hampshire, I just wanted to give a little bit of general information about the college. So some things that really set us apart from other schools is that we have a really student-centered curriculum. So this involves interdisciplinary concentrations, which means that every single student will have more than one discipline involved in their studies. Personal faculty advisor committees, meaning that all students choose their faculty that they work with and the people that help them guide their studies. And also a comprehensive senior project, which we call the Division 3. So in your senior year, you will work with your faculty to create a personalized project relating to everything you studied at your time at Hampshire. We also don't have grades. Instead, we use narrative evaluations, which is essentially a paragraph to 2 pages of detailed feedback for each class you take in each division that you pass. So this is important for a couple of reasons, but post-graduation, it's really great for grad schools, for internships, for employment opportunities, because no one's just getting handed a sheet of paper with grades and numbers and letters on it. They're actually getting a full portfolio of your work, your feedback, and everything in between. Also on campus, we have a sustainable campus farm, which is over 80 acres. It provides food for the dining hall, as well as farm shares that students can purchase, as well as the community can purchase. We have living buildings, 2 of them on campus actually, and solar arrays that can provide 100% of the needs of the campus energy. We also have several buildings, for example, the Center of Design, which there's pottery throwing, there's blacksmithing, woodworking stations, etc. There's so many different things you can use. Any student is able to use it as long as they've completed the required safety training. Another great thing about Hampshire is that we're part of the 5 college consortium. Actually, Hampshire was created by the other 4 colleges in the area back in, I think it began in the late 50s. The presidents from the 4 colleges came together and decided that they wanted to explore what liberal arts meant. And so they appointed a committee to create this new college, which is what Hampshire became. And as you can see on the map, we're pretty centrally located between the other 4 colleges, which is really great because we can take classes at any of these schools with the course exchange program. There's nearly 6,000 courses you can choose from, including graduate level courses. And there's even courses at, for example, UMass Amherst that may be limited to certain majors or certain departments, but that actually includes all Hampshire College students too, which is unique to us. There's also almost 1,000 groups or sports teams that you can join across the campuses. The only thing pretty much that you can't do is join their competitive sports teams, but anything else is pretty much open to everyone on all the campuses. There's also certificate programs that are part of 5 Colleges Inc., which is sort of an overarching company that looks over the 5 colleges as a whole. But there are certificates that are part of your diploma at the end that basically show that you've completed certain steps or certain curriculum in a specific field. There's also the library exchange system, which means that if you're on campus and you need a book that's at, say, Mount Holyoke College, they'll actually send the book to Hampshire and vice versa, so that students don't really have to go out of their way to receive informational materials that they might need. And also there's so many different things that combine all of the 5 schools, such as the 5 college dance department, the film council, and multicultural theater board. So for example, in the 5 college dance department, all of the schools work together to create different curriculums that students can easily travel from school to school to. So they get together every year and make different lists and different packages, they call it, for students to really utilize the resources of the consortium. With over 30,000 undergraduates in the area, there's a free bus system that's actually one of the largest free bus systems in the country. And that gives students access to all of the great areas around Hampshire College. There's so many concerts, festivals, fairs, restaurants, performance spaces, practice spaces, museums. There's pretty much anything you could ever want within the free bus system. There are also many unique benefits of going to a liberal arts college and studying arts specifically at a liberal arts college. Within the personalized curriculum, you'll get to design your own major with your own faculty of your choosing. That really makes it so that you can study what you want to study without any sort of requirements that are going to hold you back. All of the classes are very experiential. I shouldn't say all. Many of the classes are small and experiential, with the exception of a few lecture-based courses, but for the most part, they're really hands-on, and it's going to be very discussion-based. And I apologize. Another thing that Hampshire students get to learn is skill building. So many times throughout every single year in division at Hampshire, you'll be asked to collaborate with your peers, with your faculty, and with the community. And this will help in many ways on a resume. Because it shows that you were able to manage projects, present and lead, and also make an impact. Many of our students who take classes in any creative form are also sort of tagged with other layers that make the course interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary. And there's actually several courses that students can take that are specifically catered towards art for change, dance for change, music for change. This also gives people real world experience, because in those classes, you are allowed to do internships within the community, do real independent research that is not just already known. It's research that students actually get to do for themselves and learn and find out for the first time. Students can create their own performances, their own shows. They can perform as a Division III or just as a community member. And all of these things are, again, fully run by and for the students. Specific to Hampshire, there's a lot of resources that are unique to us. For example, the Center for Design, which I talked a little bit about before, state-of-the-art film and photography studios, which also has the Ken Burns Wing, which I love to mention, as well as an art gallery, which is in the bottom of the library that lots of Division III students will actually have gallery showings, but it's also open to prominent community members, and there's been some really excellent work in there from the community and students alike. Also, there's personal studios, and you're not guaranteed to get one if you sign up for it, but in the Art Barn, especially for Division III students, you will receive your own space to work on your projects and everything. That's also true for the dance and music and theater buildings as well. There's practice spaces, performance spaces, and they're really open for people to sign up and use, because they're not, again, just limited to people who are in those specific classes or schools or majors. It's really open to anyone who wants to use it. There are 3 animation studios on campus, media labs with professional recording equipment. There's also in the library a place where you can rent equipment to use, in the recording studio, in the labs. And in the practice studios, like I mentioned, in the music building, there's a piano in each one that students are allowed to use. There's also an entire game design program with a game library and a game lab. So we actually can rent out video games on campus, which people use for their research. as well as the game lab and game design, where students actually create their own games. And that has a lot to do with the computer science programming. Also, for the senior projects, the Division 3, as we call them, they can be a wide array of things. For example, performance, an art installation, a music composition, a performance. If you see this picture here, that is one of the dance performances at Hampshire College, and I'm actually in that photo. So for some examples of Division 3s that were recent, these are all links that you can click on and view their profiles on the website. But for example, Miriam King, she studied basically dance therapy for neurodegenerative disease, but she started off taking dance courses and courses in neuropsychology and neuroscience, and then found this relationship between the two, and that became her Division 3, and that is now currently still what she practices and does. I know her in person. So you can take a look at any of these on the Hampshire website. Here's just some notable alumni. Lupita Nyong'o, of course, Academy Award-winning actress, and Ken Burns, who I mentioned, who has the wing in the media lab, or the, the film and photo building. These are also on the Hampshire website. There's a whole slew of people that you can look into with different profiles about their time at Hampshire. So there's just a couple things to go over for transfer applications. Hampshire just this year became a part of the Massachusetts Independent College Transfer Guarantee, which essentially means that if you graduated from a Massachusetts community college and received an associate degree and had a minimum of a 2.5 GPA, you automatically are admitted to Hampshire College once you submit the application. If you don't meet those requirements exactly, for example, if you took most of the courses but didn't get your degree, or if you don't quite have a 2.5 GPA, you're still considered if you apply, but it's not part of the guarantee. There's also special scholarships for these students. If you have a certain criteria, you can get a special scholarship for being a transfer guarantee student, or if you're a member of PTK, you also get a merit scholarship. However, every single student that applies to Hampshire and gets accepted will receive a merit scholarship. So just to take a look at the deadlines, to apply for the spring semester, November 1st is the deadline of this year. And then to apply for the fall, it's March 15th. And there's more information about this on the website, but also if there's any questions, you can always send me an email. Thank you for listening.